everyone, and welcome on back to BK Reviews, where today I'm going to be showing you how to make a DIY Captain America shield. Before I get into the materials and the process, the footage that you will be seeing is of me making my Captain America stealth suit shield from the Winter Soldier. However, with just a couple paint swaps, you could either make the classic version, or if you don't want to use any paint at all, you could use Sharpie like we did in this one here. So the main material that you will need for the shield is just a large piece of Posterboard. And I used one from an event. It was like one that you stick in the ground just to advertise stuff, whether it's political or obviously for a college event, what have you. That kind of poster board material will work wonders. And if you don't have that, just a large piece of relatively thick cardboard should do the trick. For the red, white, and blue shields, we used these paints. And for the stealth suit shield, we used these paints. Quick point to note is that this silver will be used on both shields on the interior. However, if you're just worried about the exterior, go with the three paints or the other three paints that I just showed you. So like that silver spray paint, what you'll need for both shields is this elastic material. Yeah, it's a 1-inch, just little strand, like, bit of elastic that I found at, I forgot if it was Michael's or Hobby Lobby. You could find them at any of your local craft stores, and we used a white variant just so that we could use some brown Sharpie on that, but if you don't want to make it brown, you could obviously go with the black. And to hold those straps onto the shield, we are just using some silver and brown duct tape. Okay guys, so to start off, I have a big piece of just blank poster board, and you could use cardboard, you could use any kind of material that you want to make this shield. So here we have a piece of string that, with the knotted in loops, measures to just about 10.5 inches. Now this will be the radius for the entire shield, and it kind of adjusts for that bend that we're going to add later. So then I just have some sort of, you could use a pencil, you could use anything to stabilize it in the middle, and then just a Sharpie to draw the circle around. Okay guys, so I figured out where the center is. That was just by having the static part of the, the gold part that I was using for the string right here. And then I just made some crosses with the Sharpie to figure out just exactly where that center point was. Then I just took a ruler and I traced the radius out. And as you can see, I did that at a couple different angles just to make a small little wedge. And the reason for doing that is hopefully when we cut it out and reconnect it, the shield will have that classic round shape that Captain America's shield has. So now I'm going to cut it, and always remember, with that wedge, you could always make it bigger, so better to be safe than sorry. Okay guys, so here we have the cutout shield, and it has that wedge obviously. So what we're going to do now is, also trim off the excess, don't forget that. But we're going to try and attach these two ends together and try and make sure that it just gives a nice round shape overall. Obviously it won't be perfect, but it will give us that bit of a bend that the cap shield has. And then we're just going to tape that together. Alright guys, so I've taped the shield together, and sadly, this is kind of a flaw that I realized now, is that the way that I cut it, it lines up with the groove so that this top section bends a bit more than I wanted, but that's fine. Just bending it in the other direction should help to make more of that round shape. Okay guys, so the entire shield is now in this silver color. It's dried a bit, so now I'm just going to take some bigger bowls. I have 3 different versions, and they roughly match where I want the circles to be. So that did not really work that well, just because with the tape that we used earlier, it started to peel off some of that silver spray paint, and I was out of painter's tape, so I tried using masking tape, and that left a weird residue. So I'm going back to the painter's tape, but the plan is now to do this inside circle, make that blue, and then I'll get the silver last. So let's do that right now. Okay guys, so now that the blue is done, I just went on Google Images and searched up a picture of a star. Then I put it in a Google Doc and tried to size it to the exact size that I needed. This took a couple of tries. It was really just trial and error. I tried one where the star was about 6 inches, and that was just a bit too big, so I shrunk it down here and there, and it only took me 3 tries to get this eventual piece of paper. Then I just cut out the star, and now I was left with this. I trimmed some of the paper off, and I've covered it all in painter's tape, just so that I could set it right where I want the star to be and not have to worry about it bleeding through it all. But what I'm going to do now is tape off the blue sections, put this down, and then spray paint that silver ring right there and the silver star on. We should be done with the painting. Okay guys, so now that we have the silver on the inside and obviously that cool design on the outside, I noticed that my silver is still a little bit, like, I don't know if dusty is the right word, but I'm going to run over it with a Kleenex a couple times just to try and get any of that paint residue off of it. So now that I have most of the dust residue off, I'm going to do a rough measure of how big I want the straps to be, because I obviously have to see what feels right and then leave enough on so that I can tape it to the shield. So I'm going to do those rough measurements. Obviously this will be different for everyone. And then I'm just going to color this in with some brown Sharpie to give it more of that leather look, or just at least brown strapping. We just measured, and this is around what mine are going to look like. Yours could be similar. They could be a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller, depending on who you are. But now I'm just going to color these in with that brown Sharpie, and then we'll get into taping them on. Okay, so as you guys saw, I really went to town with the duct tape, just some metallic duct tape, and now the cap shield should work just fine. But I do want to make mine look a little bit better, so I am going to add some brown duct tape cut into smaller pieces to kind of look like how the leather straps are on his shield. And there you have it. You now have a Captain America shield, whether it be the stealth suit variant or the classic red, white, and blue. And you made that just using some simple materials. And it's kind of like that saying, one man's trash is another man's treasure. So you may have obviously gone with the red, white, and blue color scheme, and that'll still look the same, just as the stealth shield the stealth suit shield variant. But on this one, I made this a couple years back, and obviously I did not use that technique of spray painting the entire thing silver and then making it look better. However, on this one I did add some longer straps that would then be clipped in with some sandwich clips. And this was kind of a, I don't want to toot my own horn and say genius, but it was a decent idea. And I just had some elastic and then some string so that you could actually put this on just like Cap does. So instead of obviously hooking it on, you still get that Captain America kind of backpack look. But obviously that doesn't look as good, so I'm not going to show it here, but if you like it, you can do it. I believe in you. But that'll do it, guys. If you liked this video, like this tutorial, and feel like I deserve it, please do hit that like button, as it always helps. If you want to see more DIY craft or cosplay stuff, you can check out the channel and maybe even consider subscribing. With all that being said, I will see you guys in the next one.